What's up, guys? Dalton Johnson here, and before I get going on this video, I want to give a little bit of an update slash kind of apology because it's been a while since I made a video. I wanted to get the momentum going right away, create this YouTube page right before the NBA draft and NBA free agency. Luckily for me, it has been pretty dang quiet when it comes to free agency with the Warriors. The update there is that yes, everything is still waiting on the Jonathan Kuminga situation. Let's just call it that, the resolution they're looking for with restricted free agency when it comes to Jonathan Kuminga. So that, of course, has been the holdup. Everyone knows that. That's no surprise by any means. But within that, Summer League has wrapped up for the Warriors. And yeah, all eyes were on the draft picks. I'm talking about Alex Tui and Will Richard. But there was another name that we should have known the whole time, that people, I believe, will get to know now. And unfortunately for the Warriors, that Lakers fans most likely are going to get to know now, and that is Chris Manion. The Warriors might have found an absolute hidden gem, undrafted out of Vanderbilt after 3 seasons at Cornell. They bring in Chris Manion, and this is just a guy who just can do everything. He just makes things happen. He's just a basketball player is my best way to describe Chris Manion. He's a 6'5" point guard that can play a little bit of the wing too. Let's call him a guard forward, but played more of a point guard role at Vanderbilt for his 1 season there. So again, someone who is not a specified specialist, let's call him that, right? He's not someone who's, he's going to go out there and he's going to be a 3-point shooter. He's going to go out there and he's just going to be a rebounder. He's going to run the floor. No, this is a guy who gets it done. The Warriors were really happy that they signed a deal with him when he went undrafted. They could bring him in for Summer League. But it's almost like Chris Manion played too good because as I'm recording this today on Monday, earlier in the day, ESPN's Shams Charania reported that the Los Angeles Lakers are signing Chris Manion to a 2-way deal, which for the Warriors was probably unlikely. I'm going to get into that in a little bit, but it seems like the hope for the Warriors were they could bring him into the system, get him comfortable, and then almost hope that he could slip through the cracks, maybe be an Exhibit 10 guy, but pretty much they wanted to find a way to get him to Santa Cruz, be part of the Santa Cruz Warriors. But he was just too good this summer, and he, number one, in the first game of the California Classic, showed the Lakers what kind of player he can be. That first game in the California Classic, I talk about a little bit of everything. This is what he did. Game 1. He goes out there. He's at plus 12, which was tied with Jackson Rowe and Taron Armstrong, 2 players who finished last season for the Warriors on 2-way contracts. He has 8 points, 3 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. Those last 2 things, the steals plus the blocks, stocks, steals plus blocks, 5 of them, first game. That was the story of Chris Manion's successful summer. That's how he truly impacted games. This is someone who's going to be 24 years old in December and just knows his role, plays his role. Fantastic. You can see him being one of these undrafted G League guys. Obviously, the best of the best right now with that is Alex Caruso, who might play his role better than anybody in the NBA, and is a huge reason why that, along with, having the MVP, but Alex Caruso, obviously a huge reason why the Oklahoma City Thunder were the champions this year. Let's get back to Chris Manion, who, like I said, first showing, it's against the Lakers. The Warriors have a comeback win. Chris Manion is a huge reason why. Plus 12 that first game. But in the fourth quarter, he has a 1.5-minute stretch that first game where he has back-to-back block shots. Then after one possession, the fourth possession of that sequence, he gets a steal automatically and immediately gives it up to Jackson Rowe for an easy layup. Steal, 2 assists, creating his own offense. That's Chris Manion. His 1 season at Vanderbilt, he had 56 steals, which was tied for 10th in 1 single season in program history. This is someone who came to Vanderbilt, one of the lower teams in the SEC, and at one point in late January, had them as the number 24 team in the country by AP polls. They made the March Madness. They made the tournament. His 1 season there, the first time since 2017. So what does he do? He has that kind of impact for the Warriors in the summer. after that first game of the California Classic, actually he struggled. Really, really rough second game. Doesn't play the third and final game at Chase Center. They go to Vegas. They get blown out game one. And Chris Manion struggled in that. He was a minus 21 off the bench. But then that next game, he gets his footing in Vegas. And that started a 4-game stretch where you're going, this is a kind of type of player. You have a two-way contract who can go in, help out an NBA team whenever he gets his chance and continue to develop in the G League. That's a game that they played a super talented Utah Jazz team. Multiple first-round picks out there on the floor, and the Warriors had a really strong win against the Jazz team. And this is what Chris Manion did in 17 minutes off the bench. 13 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 block shots, and a steal. 3 block shots and a steal. I already said that in Chris Manion's one season at Vanderbilt, he led the team in steals and was the 10th most in program history. He was also second on the team in blocked shots. Like 6'5", being able to do this, it almost reminds me of Brandon Pajemski being such a great offensive rebounder, overall rebounder, I should say, his 1 year at Santa Clara, where it was all about, hey, yeah, he's the man and he's shooting in the 40s from three-point range and he's putting up some big-time scoring numbers in what some people see as a smaller conference. But it was the rebounding that showed that he sees things. The Warriors love to see guards who can rebound because it shows them that they're seeing the floor and they're seeing the picture differently. And it's not just a me game for those type of players, which is not what Chris Manion is. He only averaged 6.6 points per game that 1 year at Vanderbilt, but it was all the other things. Whether he was at Cornell, whether he was at Vanderbilt, or whether he was with the Warriors Summer League team. Guys that I talked to just said, the teams are better when Chris Manion is on the floor. One source told me he plays fearlessly, and that's what you saw in the summer. And I talk about that first game against the Jazz kind of kickstarting that really strong 4-game stretch. Well, let's talk about how he ends his final game in the summer against the Cleveland Cavaliers team. Goes out there, 17 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 steals, a block shot, plus 21. I mean, what more can you ask for? To me, outside view, that is a coach's dream. Not just the fact that he's filling up the stat sheet, but it's not that he's just going out there and let me get 14 shot ups, 15 shots up, and show who I can be for Summer League. Because Summer League can be really hard to scout and evaluate. Because you have certain guys that are the draft picks that you know that the teams are prioritizing. You have some older guys that have NBA experience, that understand the game. And then you have some kind of tweeners who, want to show that they can fit your system, but more than anything else want to show out and show that they deserve a chance with somebody else. And at times it can get very individualistic, and it can be hard to say, well, how is this actually going to translate to an NBA roster? Why would a team want like someone going off individually when you have Steph Curry on the team or Jimmy Butler on the team? If you're an undrafted guy and you have a chance and you might get 5 minutes out there, you better find other ways to impact games. That's what Chris Manion did. He was one of only 4 players on the Warriors to play all 5 games in Las Vegas. In those 5 games, he led the Warriors in total points and was 3rd in points per game. He also led the team in total rebounds, total blocked shots, and was 2nd in steals behind only Will Richard. He had 7 steals, Will Richard had 9. So this is what I'm talking about as far as Summer League isn't always easy to scout and evaluate, but those players who impact winning the right way, they're going to be found. That's why Chris Manion was found. And the Warriors, they might end up regretting it because for them right now, they have one two-way spot technically filled up. That's Jackson Rowe. They're really happy with Jackson. He's an older veteran for being on a two-way deal. Had a great season in the G League for Santa Cruz last season. So he's someone that they know that Steve Kerr likes to use his two-way guys. He's going to give those guys chances over an 82-game season. And they feel like Jackson Rowe is someone that can go out there, and if he gets 6 minutes, he's going to do the right things. He's going to play within himself and not try to make it, hey, I'm in Santa Cruz, I'm going to go out there and get 20. The other guy most likely to return on a two-way contract is still Taron Armstrong. They put out the qualifying offer to him in the beginning of the offseason. That is a return on a two-way deal. So Taron Armstrong is technically a restricted free agent, but it's basically close to a guarantee. The most likely scenario is that he returns to the Warriors on a two-way deal. So that's two spots right there. The third spot is most likely going to go to one of the Warriors' 2 draft picks. That's either Alex Tooley or Will Richard. I assume, and my expectation is that one of those 2 players is going to get a two-way deal, and the other player is going to be on the standard 15-man roster. He's going to get a standard contract. Okay, so it just kind of put the Warriors and Chris Manion in a bind. So from a player's perspective, you go out there and you have a great summer, and a team like the Lakers can offer you a two-way deal. That's exactly what Summer League's all about. So again, hats off to Chris Manion. The Warriors, they might have found a hidden gem, but unfortunately for them, when head coach Lane Wilson for Santa Cruz goes against the South Bay Lakers, the Warriors as a whole might be reminded, might be tough letting this guy slip away.